All right, we have Steve Day in the image.
Okay.
Perfect. We are coming back from break. We have Steve Day in the image, and this is season 3, game number 2 of Chase the Bracelet. We have heads-up action between Steve Day and Heather Kimmel. No, wait, Moskowitz, sorry.
He does look like Heather, though.
For some reason, I thought Heather was going to win that with her 9.
It's the hair.
There we have Moskowitz, or Paul. We are heads up.
Who'd you come up with a name of him? Like Mosky.
3,000 bet.
3,000 bet by Paul Moskowitz.
He's just taking a stab at it.
Steve Day says, "I do not believe you." Can Moskowitz pull the trigger one more time? No, he checks. Both players check.
That gives Steve a good sign that.
Yeah, there's
His
Steve.
hand's probably
Steve gets
good.
to catch his straight that way.
Steve does hit it straight, though. Be anxious to see if Moskowitz tries to make another move here. Just
6,000 is the bet.
Unless Paul thinks that 4 is a heart.
I got it.
He lets
says,
it go.
Yeah, ace
Smart
high
one.
is probably not good.
Things got lucky for Steve there on the river. I want to thank everybody that watching tonight and our dealer Train for coming out and dealing cards for us. So we're winding down this tournament. Steve probably has a 3-to-1 chip count on Paul at the moment.
Paul looks down on a 5-9 of diamonds. Folds that.
Lines are 3,000, 6,000. Is that correct, PJ?
No, 1,503.
I'm sorry,
There we go.
1,500, 300 at this moment.
We started the game with 6,000 chips for each player. We're down to 2.
It's about 60,000 chips in play. Well, it is 60,000 chips in play.
Actually, the about is probably right because the chip up.
And that's true. I was just trying to show off some math skills, Tony.
Yeah, I'm not doing math today.
Moskowitz with a suited Queen 7's thinking about maybe moving all his chips in. I think Steve's going to call heads up with any ace if he does.
Paul folds.
He lets it go.
Need it here.
And Steve rakes more chips. This blind level, heads up, you're losing either 3,000 or 1,500 every hand.
Steve started this game tripling up with a giant chip stack, and he's maintained that the entire game.
Moskowitz looking a little frustrated there. Looks down at a Jack 4 hearts.
Folds
And
him.
just knocks it away. He's going to toss another 3,000 into the pot. Being card dead at the end of a tournament, Tony, is no fun.
Absolutely not.
There could be 5.
Blinds are 1,500, 3,000. The button is on Steve. Steve has the 1,500 out there in the small blind.
Steve has ace 9.
This could get interesting.
If he raises here, I think Paul calls.
Okay, let's see. Alright, we call.
And there is. All in on a call.
Yep.
4 more thousand.
So we're heads up.
Call.
I think I'd want to be in Steve's shoes at the moment.
Steve does have the advantage. You can see the percentages there on your screen. We'll go to the flop.
Okay.
Queen, Jack, Queen.
Yeah, that pretty much.
Quad.
Wow.
And Moskowitz ends up with quads.
Luckily,
Wow.
I think Brandon must have left the horseshoe on the seat and Paul sat on it.
You can't hit a flop any harder than that, I don't think.
That's pretty sick. That was sick.
Put the camera on Moskowitz because I think Steve Day just vomited in his shoes. And we're back to action.
They used
10-5 versus
to run for all
3-6.
my queens.
We like to call Moskowitz a luck box when he hits hands like that.
Thanks, and I got yellow.
That's with an L.
Thank you for the clarification. Buttons on Steve again.
Ace 4, Ace 5.
Interesting. Now this could get interesting.
A lot of players, you know, any ace heads up is pretty good.
Yep.
All in.
And Moskowitz
It's
moves all in.
good timing on the all-in.
7, 8, 9,500.
This could be a game changer here. Although if there's 60,000 out there, yeah.
Imagine if Steve folded that. Take care, Jack.
Yes.
We'll see you later, buddy.
Action on Moskowitz first.
Moskowitz with the best hand in poker.
Ouch.
He lets it go.
You're watching Heads Up Action for game number 2 of Chase the Bracelets Season 3.
What's the cat's name?
Which one? Brown nose or white nose?
If you missed any of this program, it will be available for review, where you can see the entire program.
Buttons on Steve first. He's got a 7-8, so it's connected. He is going to stay in.
All in.
Ah, interesting.
8,000 more, sir.
Moskowitz shoved all in, or did Steve shove all in?
Moskowitz shoved all in. Steve did raise it though.
Nice camera work, PJ.
I think if they were suited, Steve might call, but I don't see him calling here.
He lets it go.
Good fold. It's one of our later games tonight. Usually it's about 10:45.
Oh, is around a little bit later tonight.
Both of those hands look pretty good heads up. Both players.
They're going to see a flop.
Yep. Paul hits his king. And Steve with an up and down straight draw. It's Paul in the diamond part of it and Steve outside of it.
And Steve lets it go.
Steve.
And this
Fold
tournament
it.
is, and just like that, this tournament has changed.
Both of these players, they really don't bet it unless they've got something. Although we have seen them betting without catching anything on the board.
I think Moskowitz is rapidly getting close to becoming a chip leader if he's not at this point. Steve with an ace-10.
Steve just calls. I can't see him just calling here though.
Did you see my card?
2-3.
Yeah. Not even suited.
I feel fine.
I would have called if they were suited.
Steve with a queen-8. Moskowitz with a 6-9. Moskowitz completes a bet, and Steve checks. We go to the flop.
What did you say?
Oh,
3, 4, 8. Steve shoves all in with his 8.
I fold.
Moskowitz with a gut shot, folds. First act of Steve was 10-5 offsuit. He completes the bet.
I'll check.
Moskowitz checks his option. And
Could
we're
be
gonna see a
interesting
flop.
here.
Queen 9 queen.
Both players check.
Really no help to anybody there. Now
8 on the
Paul
turn.
hits his 8.
Doesn't help Steve too much. I guess a jack would give him the win.
I think Steve's gonna make a move here, but Paul's got an 8.
Let's see what Paul does.
And he might be putting Steve on a queen. Checks the flop. Bets on the turn.
I think Steve would have bet that harder if he'd had the queen. Although there is an 8 out there, or a 9 out there.
Moskowitz trying to figure out if his 8's good. Makes the call.
Good call. As long as a jack doesn't hit, which it doesn't. Good bet by Steve.
All in. Steve's all in. 12.
Oh,
Wow.
That was some good poker play there.
That was good poker. Go Steve, go Steve. That's playing poker. Made a hand, made it 10-5. Did 10-5 work.
I was going to push, but I didn't think I would hit. It's going to be out. Wasn't to be.
Moskowitz pocket pair. 10s.
It's going to look like a frustrated bet anyway. We'll definitely get the call.
Called. All in. Called.
Moskowitz Hollywood's a little frustration. Gets the call. Steve's got 1 over.
Moskowitz with the win with his 10s.
And Steve goes frustration. How can I get rid of this guy, he's thinking. How do I get rid of him?
Is the button good? Okay. Huh? No, I had a good hand. I had a pushing hand. It was a pushing hand.
Heather's third.
This is definitely not my brand. He would have been out.
We see a flop here. Steve hits a top pair with a king. Moskowitz, a big
Didn't
miss.
catch anything of it.
95.
And Steve bets out. Moskowitz folds.
Good bet.
And Steve starts to grind him back down again.
Two double ups and it's a completely different game.
Bunch of garbage.
Steve calls the blind. Moskowitz checks his option.
Here we go to the flop. Paul
Paul
hits
with
a 9.
Paul with the check mark.
Check.
Yeah,
hit the
Steve
9.
had bet there. He might have taken it.
Yep, I
Dodged
think
that
this
one
is a bet.
completely, huh?
A good video.
Is that a freeze again? we have a freeze on the video again. Let me see if I can do it. Oh, look at that. We got it. Nope. After this hand, we'd like to pause it.
Hang on for 1 second, Chris.
Okay, they're paused.
They're paused.
Okay, clock is paused.
Clock is paused.
Okay, hold on.